Women, what is the biggest mistake single men make when showing interest? Don't go overboard on the talking about sex. Be able to talk about other things. Like my Warhammer collection? Honestly, yes. One of my college friends had one, and none of us were, but it was endearing how much he was into it and fun to see him light up about painting little figures that took hours to dry. Lying that you like the same things we do. I had quite a few guys do this in the past. It always sucked because here I am falling for them thinking we have so much in common. Then after a while in the relationship, they start to get comfortable and now don't want to go anywhere we used to go or do anything we used to do because, well, I don't actually like that band, I just liked you. Like that's supposed to be romantic. So, okay, I'm just supposed to accept this life now? What a waste of time for both people. Making sexual innuendos to test boundaries when I don't know you. They're doing it to quickly filter out all but the most suggestible, horny, indiscriminate women. Like how scam emails are full of bad grammar and mistakes, they don't want to waste time trying to reel in smart people, they want only the dumb ones to engage with them. Making it about looks. In a way that makes it obvious they're not really looking past that. You can usually tell because they're not complimenting your personality, taking interest in your hobbies, etc. It's just, you're so pretty, your body is so hot, it can actually feel quite sad. I try, for this reason, to compliment men on their looks, and women on anything but their looks. I'm sure some men think I'm gay, but that don't change the way mustard tastes. Nice cock, Brad! And Laura, your crochet technique is superb. You joke, but I'd love a compliment on my cock from anyone. It's nice to know people can appreciate the little things in life. Not understanding, no. I said it once. Me having to repeat myself won't change my mind. In fact, I will just get more and more pissed off. There have been multiple times that I've had to explain it to another guy. He'll say, she said she has a BF, but I know she's lying, and I tell him she said no. Even if she tells you she's moving to Jupiter tomorrow, it's her telling you no, and they're surprised every time, lol. Not asking any questions and actually keeping the conversation going. Ridiculously basic, but shocking how many men don't understand this, including the ones that show strong interest. It's not just about showing interest, it's about making someone feel seen and heard, asking questions, remembering little details, and being present. That's where the real foundation of trust and intimacy is built. When I was young, I kept having the experience of having men fall madly in love with me and have zero interest in me. It was a bit confusing, but I think we women do this in a way too. Now, I think fondly of those young men and laugh at how we plastered some persona on each other and fell for it. Growing up is hard. Acting like being nice is a personality, then getting mad when you don't fall for them immediately. Or worse, a tactic. Here are some flowers and I held the door and said your grandma's hat looked nice. What, you don't feel a spark? Fuck your grandma, that old bitch. As someone who used to do this, the psychology is very transactional. They think that they have to earn your favor by doing nice things for you, never once stopping to think if they would respond favorably to the same behavior. I stopped when I realized people will either like me or not. It's really not possible to make someone like you. Talking constant smack about their ex, comparing us to their ex. Like if it comes up in conversation, say what you need to say and move on. Don't punish us for what your ex did, bro. Heal up. Bragging about how many other women are interested in you. How lucky I am to have been at the top of the list. Nothing says secure in yourself like talking non-stop about your ex and comparing other people to them. Making sexist comments. A lot of guys think variations of the comment, most women are so dumb but you're so smart, is a compliment. It's not, especially if you're complimenting me for knowing something basic. It suggests you don't engage many women in conversation. Making it sexual. I can't emphasize this enough. If you make it sexual before we meet, I'm immediately disappointed. Most of my experience post-divorce is dating online and I cringe every time a guy has "I love to cuddle" on his profile. Or we start talking and within a paragraph, he's asking to give me a massage. Just talk to women like we're people, not sexual objects. Adding on to this that I am very sexual and in no way avoid sex. But if I don't know you, I don't want to talk sex with you, period. I remember when I first met my wife, we had an amazing date that lasted way longer than expected. A couple hours later, she texted me asking if she'd scared me off. I was super interested, but didn't want to seem too interested, and she straightened me up real quick. Don't try to play it cool by not communicating. When I first met my wife and got her number, I was trying to play it cool by not texting her immediately. I always heard the wait 3-day rule. She texted me after the first day. Did you forget about me? My wife still gives me shit about it 5 years later. I felt like I'd scared away women in the past when in reality they just weren't as interested in me as I was in them. After an amazing 3-hour date, walking around a local pond, talking and laughing, I told myself I will not fuck this up. and then almost immediately fucked it up by not keeping the text conversation going. I think a lot of men would do well to remember that they can easily overpower us, and we are always aware of that. So fear is often present, and for good reason. Giving a woman some time to get to know you and to see that you will be safe for her is crucial for many women. One of my female colleagues was in our shared office alone one day when a male colleague walked into the office, closed the door, and locked it behind him. Then he walked up to within a couple of feet of her, kept standing even though she was sitting, and started talking about how he had been noticing her and was wondering if she would want to go out sometime. This guy was over 6 tall and well over 200 pounds. My colleagues is like 5'3" and 130 pounds. She panicked and told him to please unlock and open the door, then positioned herself outside of the office and told him she wasn't interested. Later, she was able to bring up to him how incredibly scary his behavior was, and despite explaining it multiple times, he kept arguing that, "But I'm not like that. He just locked the door so they could talk privately and just didn't think about taking a seat." It's just wild to think that a guy can't imagine how frightening that could be. Not understanding, no. I said it once. Me having to repeat myself won't change my mind. In fact, I will just get more and more pissed off. Showing extreme jealousy over a girl you aren't even dating. My best friend had a small b-day party, and there were mostly people I knew and some I didn't. A guy came up and told me I was very pretty and he liked my outfit. I said thank you and continued to see my friend. I started playing pool with her brother, and I looked up to see that same guy fuming and staring daggers at me. Bro, I don't know you? Why TF are you grilling me like that? It came off seriously unhinged because he did it the whole party every time I socialized with any of the guys. Moving too quick. Hi, what's your name? Okay, that's enough. Let's move in together. That's what lesbians are like, allegedly. I've noticed a lot of men try to sell themselves, make a big deal about their accomplishments, basically finding any reason to brag or bring up nice or helpful things they've done for others, etc., trying to impress their date. But in reality, it just makes you look a bit narcissistic. It's off-putting. Let your personality show for itself. If a woman is on a date with you, especially if it's your second plus date, she has some interest in you already, you don't have to force it. Not understanding the constraints that women face around safety. I was listening to a man talk about how frustrated he was, that he wanted to pick up a first date in his car and she wanted to meet him at the restaurant. It's because she doesn't want to be trapped with you if you end up wanting to hurt her. She wants to have an escape. Some guys literally try to murder their dates. Dating can be very scary and dark for women. Oh my god, right on point. A guy on Hinge asked me out, and he had already told me that he was ex-military. He asks, "Can I pick you up from your house and then we can go through a car wash and talk?" Sir, no. Even if he wasn't ex-military, I wouldn't have done that on a first date. Now you know where I live too? He was understanding, but it's crazy how they don't think of our safety and comfort first. Ladies, first dates with absolute strangers should involve meeting at a location separately and in a place where there are other humans present. One time, I was driving downtown when this lady in the middle of the road flagged me down. I was a little hesitant to stop, but in my rear view, I saw this big guy walking menacingly towards us. She gets in my car and is just crying uncontrollably. All I could get out of her is that she wanted me to drive away from there. About 10 minutes in, she calms down enough to tell me what happened. She was a widow. Years after her husband died, her sons talked her into dating again. She met a man online. He insisted on picking her up from her home for their date. She left her phone at home. They go to a bar downtown and he has a few drinks. He became rude with staff. He had some more drinks, then started a fight. They both get booted out of the bar because she was seen with him. She wanted to leave, but he insisted on her getting back in his truck. That's when she flagged me down. I let her use my phone to call one of her sons while I drove her home. That way he could meet her there, because this violent dude who knows where she lives is out there. I take her home and met her toy poodles who were extremely cute. She was super grateful. Just because I know I'm not a threat doesn't mean women can count on that. Let them have whatever safety precautions they want. If you liked the video, I would be grateful for a like and a subscription.